first in the base of the market.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you are able to hearing me the audio right. Can you please confirm? Can you able to hear my audio? Yes. Okay. And the screen which I was sharing earlier was right. You could able to see that. Yeah, I see. Yes. All right. Yeah, thank you so much for whomever joined today. And definitely, we are sure that the 1 hour, which whatever you are spending here, will be well spent. And you will have a good takeaways to understand what exactly, in a layman sense, we don't, there no need to be any kind of a prerequisite set here. So that's where we set ABCs of AI. So anybody, whomever it is, can able to attend. They can understand what it is. So why this AI is pretty much important in today's world? We are actually in the digitalization where this is something you cannot avoid at all, whichever field you are in. It is not meant for only IT, it is meant for everyone. So that's where we are heading towards. And we wanted to set some context here. And we will be launching a series of AI and agentic AI related workshops or webinars in series. So hopefully you guys can get connected and get benefit out of it. So with that said, probably I'm just sharing, I'm going to share my screen and we'll start the webinar. One sec. Yeah, for a better bandwidth, I'm going just stopping my video and probably we will start the webinar. AI from data to decision. I'm really excited to have you all here because today we are talking about something that is not just shaping the future, it is also shaping your current as well. I just wanted to brief why I named this webinar as ABCs of AI, right? So it's just I've chosen the phrase ABCs to just signify the very basic, foundational or fundamental or very basic, very first step of your understanding AI. And from data to decision, we wanted to take you from how the raw data goes through the various phases and how it can be converted into smart decision. So that's how I just coined this title as ABCs of artificial intelligence from data to decision. Hopefully, we will make you a very simple sense without using too much of technicality. And before we begin, I like to introduce myself Vijayalakshmi, CEO of VRNexGen, and I'm coming out with almost 28 years of industry experience. My focused area has been driving digitalization through mainframe modernization, data, AI, and Z DevOps implementation. And I also AI on mainframe certified with IBM VRNexGen. Here is my LinkedIn profile. Hopefully, you can get connected to follow us on more technical updates on these lines. So here is our agenda for this session. So we'll start from we'll introduce about our company, what we do, and what are our capabilities and those things. And we'll also talk from basics of AI to LLM, large language models, and how the large language model workflow happens to take your raw data to the decision, and coming out or preparing or building your own AI chatbots with the help of this LLM live demo, and where this can be utilized, use cases and applications standpoint. And of course, at the end, we'll have Q&A session and the key takeaways as well. And I just wanted to have some guidelines set. With the interest of time and without disturbing the flow, I'll take you to the complete flow. I'll have the session. And if you have any queries, we will address at the end of the session. We'll have a QA session separately. We will handle it in that QA slot. And in between, any queries you have, you can post in the chat window. We'll look at and answer it at the Q&A slot time. Okay. So with that said, let's move in. So we wanted to just talk about ourselves, who we are and what we do. VRNexGen is a future-ready and innovation startup committed to accelerate digital transformation across enterprises. Our focused areas involves application modernization, infrastructure modernization, data AI, and agentic AI solutions, and enterprise DevOps. And of course, we also do the cloud implementations. So these are in-house innovation lab. So the mainframe innovation lab, this is a server enabled with the latest ZOS 3.1, which is AI-infused quantum safe operating system. So with the help of this infrastructure built in-house, we will help our customers on end-to-end modernization POCs and solutions, hands-on training and demo system, which is prepared to handle the customer real-time challenges. And it enables for hybrid cloud, AI, and API first transformations. And this is again another aspect of our innovation lab we like to talk about. And before that, I actually in today, if you surf through internet, LinkedIn or Instagram, right, you will have find so many workshops that will talk about your AI tools, mostly generative AI tools kind of stuff. But we are going beyond that, meaning we wanted to take you beyond just knowing about the tools. We want you to make understand how these tools can be built, probably with a small understanding or example. So if you take the evolution of AI as an before ChatGPT and after ChatGPT as a simple understanding in the layman's sense, I'm saying, of course, ChatGPT is from OpenAI, actually GPTs. So what GPTs means? GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Generative meaning it is going to give you some new content to be generated in form of a text or image or videos. And pre-trained meaning it has already been trained with a various uh, heterogeneous data, right? From where it is trying to give you the options. And transformer meaning that it makes use of some deep learning architecture for making this transformation. So that's actually GPT. And this the first popular model of chatbot, which is given by OpenAI, is actually ChatGPT. So that was too much of popular, so people started calling us ChatGPT. So I've used the acronym as before ChatGPT and after ChatGPT. Actually, ideally, it should be before GPT and after GPT. So actually, before GPTs, it was felt like AI is meant for only the technical people. AI is meant for only the tech people or in IT industries, whomever is using the technology or development. So only they will use the IT AI, right? But after this GPTs, it becomes most of conversational tool. It is going to whatever you wanted to know. If you give the questions, it is going to respond back to you. It's a kind of a conversational which happens instantly. So even as students started helping using this, teachers are using it. IT professional, they're not writing a code from scratch nowadays. You will get some piece of the code generated out of it and then do the custom changes, right? Even the medical professionals started coming out with the diagnostic, the summary. kind of thing with the help of this one. So almost whichever industry you name it, everybody started using it. So which means now AI is for everyone, right? You just not using it like, instead of you just using it, you need to start think how you can build on your own for your own purpose, right? So that's what we wanted to make you to emphasize. So in a way, this workshop is going to make you to understand how you can come up with LLM based application on your own, or how to build chatbots on your own, how to come out with your own agents or agentic AI solution. So that's what the differentiator I wanted to highlight here. In a way, we have our in-house AI innovation lab, which has a complete capability of AML and A on Z systems, Python on Z, and Python on distributed application, Watson X dot platforms like Watson X on A, Longchain, Langgraph, Langsmith for various frameworks to build LLM based applications, and prompt engineering, vector databases, other tooling integrations. So all these we have in-house capabilities, so which will help you to come out, or we can make you better understand, because whatever we use, we will coming out, we are preparing, designing on our own instead of using an other AI tools. So these are in-house AI capabilities, and here is how some of the certification we have it. So to showcase our capabilities on this data and AI landscape. So to brief about our core capabilities. So VRNexGen core services probably aligned towards the latest tools and technologies and transformations, migrations, enablement on those areas with the modern tools and technologies, along with AI and agentic AI solutions. And hopefully you can see some of the options here. So we predominantly work with the migrations, services, transformations, related engagements, and ZDevOps and agentic AI solution implementations. This is regarding our automation source as a part of a continuous research and developments. So these are our innovation solutions which we evolved. This may address our customer challenges. This will support us during our implementations or migrations related engagements. So we have VRX ZMIC TSS. It's one of the migration utility from top sector to RACF, and VRX ZMIC ACF2. It's an automated migration utility from ACF2 to RACF. And VRX ZMIC Git is actually legacy SCM, can be automatically transformed to Git based SCM. And VRX MIG emulator, which is actually a emulator migration solution, which will support for various vendor product. VRX Lead JD is actually our agentic AI solution for smart lead management system. And VRX Buddy is actually agentic AI powered assistant for your web inquiries. So these are our innovation solutions. Now let us deep dive into the webinar topic. Right. So here is our in brief about the some of the definition you can say, or some of the buzzwords, whatever we come across, right? What is AI, ML, deep learning kind of stuff. So AI is meaning artificial intelligence. You're making machine to behave like a human, right? So it's about you're making the machines to learn in such a way that it can think, learn, and make decision like how the human does. So, for example, if we take any kind of a voice assistant, right? So that is going to, that's one of the AI application. Or if you take any shopping sites, it can give you recommendations based on your searches. You are already, you would have bought something. Based on that, it give you some recommendations, right? They are AI based application. Self-driving car. So your car is going to align you the lane. If you miss it, it is going to take you to the lane, or it can able to give you an automated support system for supposing if I keep driving for 1.5 hours, it can may help you to recommend to take a coffee, right? So something like this. So AI is already been part of our life. Probably everybody will agree. There is no uh, mm, second thought about it. So that's about AI. It's already introduced into our day-to-day lives. We are living with that. And what is ML? So instead of you program as per your own requirement with the programmatic logic, you make machine to learn from the data so that it can able to come out with its own decision, right? So we are making the machine to learn. The typical example is in when you get an email, how this email is detecting and it is keeping you some of the mail in the spam folder, right? So that's how it has been learned. There are some words, the subject liner or something, it can able to detect automatically and keep you to that. So that's one of the application. And deep learning is like a it should learn. Your machine has to learn with a multi-layered neural network related aspects. So various datas you can give and train. It's a it should think like a brain. So you're making the machine to learn with a multiple layer so that it can able to think like a human brain. So for example, the typical example is how your phone is going to recognize your face from your this thing, right? Face recognition, or how your car can able to recognize your signals. So all these things are outcome of your deep learning. And LLM is actually human-like conversational from AI. So there are AI models which is trained with various number of data, and it enables them to understand your input and can able to generate like how your human will give you the response. It can able to generate it. Okay, so uh, just like you can keep your own buddy who knows everything. If you ask some questions, they can able to answer it based on whatever they have already learned. So something like that. And agents is actually kind of a smart assistant which does something for you. For example, I want to book the tickets. My agent can do that. So, or sending an emails. So something like that. Some small activities, whatever you wanted to do, you can have your agents can be perform the task. That's an agent. Agentic AI is actually super assistance you can call. It does with something along with the reasoning. Let's say, for example, I wanted to go for an travel for so and so dates with so and so purpose. Your agentic AI can come out with your, it can plan your trip, it can book your tickets, it can book your accommodations, it can try to come out with complete the follow-up activities and get it done for you. For example, so there is something called, in other words, your inquiries coming in the web. So some agentic AI solutions, if I incorporated, it can able to handle it on its own. It can go through the various workflows, whatever I define, and it can get it done as if whatever the handling, the people, the sales team is going to handle the leads. It can able to do it for you. So which means the 4 or 10 people are doing something for a week's time, your agentic AI solution can do it within 2 hours. So that's where we are heading towards, and that's where the various debates are also coming out, whether this AI is going to, yeah, human is going to lose the jobs when these kind of AI solutions are coming. But eventually, this is going to come out with various different opportunities for you. That's where this webinar also going to be an eye opener, or it can able to give you an other perspective of how you can take it your career into a demanding cutting edge AI enabled world. With that said, let me move ahead. Yeah, so this is what the basic we have seen. So how the basic acronym of AI to machine learning, deep learning, LLM, we have of course seen it. Yeah, now let us try to understand this LLM, how this works, how it is going to take you from raw data to decision. As I already told, LLM means large language models. So this is nothing but it's simple. Like say, for example, I can, when I think through LLM, I'm coming out with my college days. So before the examination hall, right, there will be some few people, one or two people will be very good in academics. They will learn about everything. And when they say the last 1 hour, the people will call something, ask some questions, and the buddy who is the intelligent buddy with you, they will help you to giving the answers. With that, you will get into the examination hall and come out. The last minute study happens. That's exactly your LLM actually. So it's already fed with enough input. So it is taking your input from various data sets or datas or articles or your websites. So anything you can feed as an input, it is going to take you with from there, it is going to come out with some responses, right? So, but it happens through some stages. So what is how it actually it takes the phases, how exactly your data is going through these phases to go for a smart decisions. So the first step it is going to do a data collection. So when you wanted to build your own uh, application, so you have to design to collect the data. So it is actually gathering all types of a data. So it can be from a various books, it can be articles, PDFs, websites, your research oriented papers. So whatnot, whatever way you have a data, you can try to feed enough input. So these data is going to be a fuel for your LLM. So that data collection has to happen at the first step. And step two, so the data you are giving in a various different format, right? So that need to be pre-processed. So when I say pre-processed, there should be some kind of a cleanup, some kind of an structure you need to make it. You need to remove some kind of a noise which is available. You can break that into small tokens. So those things you have to do in the pre-processing step. So next comes your training. So now you have to see how you can able to make your system to learn from the data whatever you're given. So you have to model this with a context. You set up the context properly. You give the proper meaning. Whatever you wanted to have this, you can give it up. You can set the context, meaning, and complete form of the data, whatever way it has to take it, you can able to define. Of course, you'll be seeing in our demos exactly how we are setting up the context. So that's about training. And so it can able to understand from the patterns and it can come out with some kind of a meaningful result. So step four is fine tuning. Fine tuning is more about giving some kind of an specialized information about your uh, specific requirement. Suppose your LLM is meant for insurance application, right? So those domain specific details have to be fed it properly. So that need to be fine tuned, or it is for healthcare. So accordingly, you have to give the specialized informations or need to be fine tuned as per that. So it is not general purpose. It is going to serve specific requirement. So as per that, you can able to fine tune with your specific requirement, specific required data, you can fine tune. And the next step is going to be uh, you need to infer, right? So inference. So you as a user, you can give the input. So the purpose you have designed something based on that you will give the input. The A, whatever way you train, it takes that input, it does processing, and it is going to give you an output. So the way in which you have trained, as per that, your output is going to be. So which means you have to be effectively trained in such a way that your effectiveness or the efficiency of your AI can be improved. So it's all into us, how we program it accordingly, it can able to give you the intelligent output. So these are all the steps it can able to take you to take your raw data, which you feed it in the step one at the data collection point in the various forms. And when you're in the step five, when you're giving a proper input with the help of whatever you did, the phase by phase way, it takes some knowledge out of it, and it is giving you a response. So that's how this LLM works. I hope I'm in a little bit non-technical words only I've used, but still in a layman perspective, if you take it, let's say, for example, I'm going to cook something. So first of all, what I will take, so I wanted to take whatever I'm going to prepare. So I'll take all the ingredients, whatever is required for my menu, right? So that ingredients is nothing but your data. So with the ingredients, directly I cannot cook. I have to do the cleanup. I need to chop. I need to, right, do some kind of an initial stuff prior to the cooking. That's nothing but your pre-processing. And actually, you will start cooking later if everything is kept ready. That's nothing but your training. And while you do, you will also add up with some kind of an additional spices or masalas or right salt, whatever it is, or any other flavors, which is nothing but your fine tuning. Based on your need, you're fine tuning it. And finally, you wanted to serve it, right? So and that's actually your last phase of it. So which means you can see how your raw data is getting converted into meaningful decision as a response. So this is about a brief flow of LLM. And let's say, for example, we are going to come out or we are going to design, build our own chatbot. So that's a requirement. So I'm going to, my purpose is, let us come out with some kind of an AI chatbot that does some kind of an input. If I give it, it has to give a response. So I need to come out with proper, like if I say chatbot, the chatbot can be the chatbot which can be used for your uh, film ticket reservation. You're going for a movie, so you wanted to book the tickets. That can be a chatbot, or you wanted to going for a doctor. You wanted to consult, so there also you can have a chatbot. Or you are going for one kind of a website you are landing into. You wanted to post some queries, so there can be anything, right? So when you have when you wanted to build that bond, so you need to define the purpose, whether it is going to be your customer support, or it can be your personal assistant, or it is going to serve for an um, medical appointment fixing, or it is going to serve the purpose of a real estate customer, real estate application for which anybody is looking for some home. So depending on the purpose, you need to define the purpose properly so that it can able to come out with the proper LM actually. So you need to define the purpose. Are you serving for what kind of an industry, right? How depth the level of knowledge is required. So all those things you need to figure out first, the purpose. And you based on that purpose, you need to choose some kind of an LLM. So you may choose some kind of a models, which may be from GPTs or Llama or Granite. So Coher. So there are some models are available which you may need to choose as a base, and you can start uh, work from top of it. And then the third step is you have to connect that with the data source. So the data, whichever is collected, you are keeping in some way. So all your data source need to be connected so that it can able to start looking into learning from it. So which means you also build your interface, so with which you need to interact with your application. It can be simple web application, right? So you will have some interface where you can input something, get an output. So you need to build an interface, and you need to add some guardrails. So which means with this will help you to go for accuracy and uh, modernization related aspects. You can do it. So basically, these are all the foundation blocks which you need to take care when you go for a chatbot creation. Okay, I'll repeat again. So we need to design, first of all, the purpose of the chatbot. We need to choose the relevant models, and we need to connect with the data source. And to do that, you have to build your interface, and you need to add your guardrails for a moderation and accuracy related checks. So these are the basic aspects you require. And you can also see that how this can be built. Yeah, we are about to go for preparing this and going for a demo. Here we go with the live demo. So as we discussed, so before getting into the demo, I like to give you a brief about what is an architecture of any simple chatbot. So this is kind of a skeleton architecture I wanted to brief. So any bot, the user is going to interact with the bot, right? And for whatever the questions they raise, they will get the response back, right? So this is what the sequence it is going to go through. So the user makes a request or input or query that goes to its database. Okay, we call as knowledge base. So the system is trained with the various possible inputs. It may be in the form of a PDF document or PPT, whatever the various heterogeneous messages. So those things will get standardized, embedding done, and it is stored in the vector database. And from there on, it is going to give you the response. And that information is going to pull out the related document with respect to the user query, and then it again gives to your LLM. LLM actually receives the prompt. So there's something called prompt template, which you would have defined. We are going to see a little later. And based on that, it is going to give you the response based on whatever the related document is fetched by the retriever. Okay. So this is how you get an output. So in a skeleton view, I've just made this explain. So now let us see how or live example of how the bot works and how we are querying. And so those things, how the effectiveness is measured. So let us going to understand. So here we go with this bot. So this is our chat bot, which we have constructed. And this is an interface which we have made. Okay, so this is an interface with which it is defined. So this is our interface. I can see the bot here. I'm trying to invoke. So this is the name which is given for the bot. It is a specific purpose defined. The purpose, as I discussed earlier, the purpose need to be clear. Accordingly, you can effectively build the bot. So the purpose of this is it is going to be integrated with our website. So any users who gets into the website can able to know about our company, our services, our offerings, our team strength, our capabilities, etc. So it is purely meant for that. Okay. So this is what the bot, and we named as Buddy. Now let me give some inputs or queries. Can you list your A tools? Let me say, for example, in case of any AI tools is going to list. So see the response, whatever it took. So it is saying there are two AI tools which it could able to find. And in case of further information, to whom to contact, it is saying it. And also, do you have any migration solution? So again, it's see the response is spontaneous, right? How quickly we got it. So we have Zmake, we have this one. So these things it is taking from one reference from where it took, it is giving you. It is available in this web page from where it took it, right? So this is kind of another one. So now let me see. I need training on ZOS system program. Let's say, for example, I'm coming here and asking, can I get syllabus? Right. So you see how quickly it could able to give you the response. It is talking about, yes, we do it. All your syllabus with respect to the whatever the training I asked about, and it is also saying from where it able to got it. And let me say, do you do offline training? It's again spontaneous. It says, yes, there is a specialized program. They do offline and as well as online. So it is giving you on the details as well. And let me say, I want to see the frame organization course coverage. Let me see, for example, I wanted to get this. And it is beautifully giving you the course coverage in detail. So it is whichever is the knowledge base we created, it can able to help you out this. And now, as I said, it's a specific purpose, right? I wanted to give something which is not relevant to our company. Let me say, who is president of USA? Let's say, for example, I wanted to give this one. Okay. So let's see what it says. It says, I will be providing only the company related data. I have not provided no such queries. So which means I'm clearly defining the boundaries of what are the knowledge it has got and from where it has to respond. If anything irrelevant, how to respond back. So this is how we are defining it very specifically for our own bot. Let me see why this kind of a bot is required for your own purpose. I'm going for another website. So wherein I could see there is a default bot which is coming up, right? I wanted to type something. Hi, can I get mainframe? So can I get data science syllabus? Let me say, for example, I'm asking this. Okay, I like to see the syllabus. I'm giving it. Let's see. So it is taking a lot of time and I'm not seeing response yet. Okay, so where do you locate it? Let me see. Yes. So actually, it has not given. Actually, priorly I was giving something. Of course, can you tell me what's the coverage? Whatever I mentioned here, it says, please share your contact details and email. That's it. So which means it is probably as a very specific, very generic thing. It is whatever you ask, it is asking you your contact detail. It's not giving you anything, right? Whereas if you go for this, so let's say, for example, where do you locate it? So it's spawn instantaneously. I'm getting a response. It's saying the offices where it is available address and from where it could. So that is the reason where we have to build our own specific purpose bot for our own requirement. So that's what we wanted to elaborate. So how it has been fetching out this for this, all your details, complete our website informations have been given here in the form of a knowledge base. That is, embedding has been done with a Google LLM model and it is stored in the vector database. And so let me just give you a quick brief how this has been built, right? So this is actually user makes a query. So this is a user who makes the query for us. And this goes to our knowledge base. So whatever I'm calling as knowledge base, or maybe you can say vector database, all the informations have been standardized, embedding has been made, and it is stored in the vector database. So the user query goes to this. And so from here, it just produces and responses in the form of an your query, whatever the query has been given by the user, and it also gives you the related documentation. From the knowledge base, it fetches the related documentation that goes to your LLM. Or here there is something called prompting. Okay, message prompting, prompting template, which you need to define rightly. The prompting template will have system messages and user messages. So here in the system messages, we have to clearly define from where that, knowledge have to be taken and how precisely it need to keep. For example, if you see the responses, whatever we gave, we have mentioned that how precisely it should give. So the level of thing, whether you wanted to give very brief or very elaborate, which you can define it, and what kind of a response it get. Supposing if I ask about President of USA, if anything outside the company, how it has to respond. It has been defined very properly here. So this is very much important for any kind of a LLM. So then this prompt goes to your LLM, right? So this is going to be my LLM. So it goes to a LLM. This basically does your responses. So this, by looking at this, it is going to give you a response back to the user on whatever the query they have asked in the form of an output. So the response they will be getting it, as you have seen, whatever the input I gave, I got the relevant right responses. So this is exactly we have done programmatically, right, inside our board, and that's how you have seen the output of it. So this is an algorithm, you can say, which is running behind our board, which we have constructed. And so this is how we are getting it. So this is pretty much everybody. You're a student, you're a, I mean, technical person, or what is your day-to-day activities? What is your line of business? What is your nature of the work? Based on that, you can have your own personal assistant. So we are in the world of AI. So we can have our own personal assistant to do our task automatic way. So this is what we are talking about, AI in the real-time world. So AI is for everybody, anybody who is a student, professors, educationalist, or any kind of a domain experts, or medical, insurance, banking, any kind of a business support, you can able to see this actually. So that's what it is required nowadays for everybody to get into super fast to meet up with the digitalization world. We can have our own assistants too. So that's what we intended to present. So this all about our webinar, and this is our webinar offering, probably which is going to be kind of an, if you want in your own organization or your own business or whatever you do, if you wanted to study what kind of an AI you can able to enable, we can just do the feasibility study, requirement analysis, and give it to you, where you can able to automate with AI. It is totally free for 2 weeks, and we do have an customized application we can construct for your own requirement with LLM based application. And we also have a course which you can able to learn and try to be on your own. You can build, which is an exclusive course on agentic AI mastery, which is 50 hours of curriculum. Will be completely hands-on. Every day you will be, whatever you're learning, it will be on a practical oriented, and you can come out with your own chatbot, your own agents, your own agentic AI solution. That's an ultimate purpose of this course. And of course, we also construct agents. We also comes out with agentic AI solutions for any of your workflow, whatever you have it. So these are offerings. And let me open up the forum for queries, and let me know whatever the questions you have. We are happy to help you here, respond here. And of course, I have my team also here available. We can respond back to you. And post this, you will be getting a feedback survey link. So obviously, we have to hear out from you what is and how it is effective, what kind of a benefit you achieve. Please do spend some time to fill in the feedback form, so that we can try to improve ourselves in the next webinar. Thank you so much for being with us. And let me open up the forum for 5 to 10 minutes. Meanwhile, you'll be getting the link Yes, team. Yeah, hope you would have understood how the chatbot is constructed, what is an skeleton behind it or basic algorithm behind, and what are the things you supposed to know. Hopefully, you would have received it. Let me know. We like to hear out from you more about any kind of a queries. We are happy to respond to you, and of course, feel free to fill out your feedback form. That will help us the continuous improvements, because in forthcoming webinar we'll try to understand what went wrong and we'll try to fix it. So please provide your valuable feedback. And yeah, I wanted to open up the forum for any queries. Okay, I'm not seeing any queries is coming out. Do you feel this is an effective? Do you understood or follow? Can I see some chat message. Can we see the algorithm code of this chatbot process, which is available on GitHub repository? It is not in GitHub. It is in GitHub, but it is not publicly accessible. But yeah, we can give the skeletons code, because it is our own purpose, right? So we can only give the general purpose code if at all, if required. We can make it as a public, yes. That we can do that as a takeaway. That's not a problem, but not exactly our code. Our code will not share it, right? So we have defined for our own purpose. Where can we find the training courses that you offer? Okay. Yes. So yeah, we have, let me just quickly share a moment, probably here. Yes. So this is the one which is an agentic AI mastery. Probably this will start from even without any programming skills. We'll just have the basics of Python. Python as such isn't very easy programming language. There are so many built-in libraries are available. You can easily take it within one line of code. So you can able to give this. This is Python basics, and along with that, we'll have some kind of an agentic AI specific. Uh, what do you call it, framework, and we'll say about what is the frameworks are available. Longchain is the detailed framework we will go through to understand how this complete whatever we have seen, right? So the complete core component of LLM, how to prompt, how to make the chains, series of sequential processing. So everything will set up, and we'll also set it up the environment, and will help you to build your own application with the help of this, and prompt templates. These are all the things we did it for our chatbot. So LLM and figuring out the prompt template rightly. This is the major part which will give you the efficiency of your bot. So this is precisely defined by us. That's where our bot is coming out with a very good responses and very fast responses too. And the chaining concept means what and how this is going to work with the various documentation, taking into embedding and vectoring, how do you split. So all these things are like within the 15-20 minutes of the thing, right? We cannot able to cover it up. These are the technicalities which is there. You need to come up with the what do you call it, embeddings. You need to split up, and you need to store in a proper vector database. We have chosen the Google model and the Pinecore embedding, and Pinecone vector database was chosen for this, and how to handle the memory and the rack process. So these completely, and there is another LangGraph and LangSmith framework also will cover it up. We'll say what is an agent, how it is work. There are various agent, reactive agent and custom agent. So everything we'll discuss, and we'll also come out with an automated workflow definition with an agentic AI. This is the course we are talking about. And of course, we are launching just this. It is exclusively prepared and we are launching now. What are the other queries? And we will, you can leave your this thing. We might have an email. We will connect with you and can also take it to this in detail.